I don't think it's too late. Many people might feel, oh, it's a bit too late, we've half destroyed the planet. I think there is always time, and there will always be time to fix our timelines. But we need to expand our possibilities of what we think is real and true. And one of the first issues that you have to deal with is the issue of wellness. A lot of people experience their awakening when they get ill, because they've had ME or MS, or they find themselves in hospital with a broken spine, and they can't do anything but think and reflect, and eventually things will start coming out from inside them. And our modern world is all about the bombardment from outside that stops us from being able to sit, reflect, pause, take a breath, and assess in our minds and our hearts what's going on in our bodies, and if we do have an illness, what that illness is teaching us. Because your body doesn't just get ill because it's punishing you; it's trying to tell you something.
Mm-hmm. Always, everything is sign in your body. It's like the mind isn't in the brain. The mind is contained in the energy of the organs in your body. And they have an energetic relationship with each other. Archetypes are contained within organs as well, so you'll find if you have trouble with a certain system in your body or several systems, you'll have certain archetypes come up in your dreams to show you something and sort of work it through, because it always starts as an energetic like buzz in your body.
Mm-hmm.
And then as that vibration increases, I guess, as the density of our electromagnetic field becomes physical, then it imprints physically.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always in motion.
Yeah. So where you're going with that is that all disease starts from a vibration that isn't vibrating right.
I don't know. I mean, could you say that a gene, an inherited gene, that would predispose somebody to have a neurological disorder like MS, or diabetes or cancer or whatever, is that a vibrational, is that a vibration that isn't harmonious in the DNA?
Well, there's been scientific tests that prove that. Is you can take the DNA from an ill frog, shine it through a laser to a healthy frog, and the healthy frog gets ill.
So light transfers information, as we all know, I guess.
So
right?
it's carried. The DNA is carried along the light beam.
It also.
Go ahead.
It also, when I had my awakening experience, and I believe it had to have been the downloads, because, and of course that has a frequency, because I literally stopped eating. And all of the habits that I had, my coffee habits, I love to eat chocolate, all of that just went completely out the window. And nothing was appealing to me at all. So I'm absolutely convinced that when you become awakened through meditation, mine was spontaneous, because I wasn't reading any books or looking. I was very well into the third dimensional experience, and I was pretty successful at what I was doing. So it wasn't like I was looking for it. It just kind of, I went from doing very well to completely not wanting to participate anymore at all. So, and with that, we're talking about light and how it restructures the body. I noticed that it started changing me in every possible way. So we talk a lot about the genetic upgrading and, you know, the quote-unquote night school and the upgrades that we get and the downloads and all that stuff. I think that as we awaken, we do get these kind of genetic upgrades, and that's how we start waking up to these abilities and things. So I think that's something that should be mentioned as well.
I think you just did.
Yeah, thank you.
So I just want to have expand a little bit on what healing that I've been involved with in the last few years. It was about 15 years ago I met a woman called Shari Edwards, who now apparently has she's got a show on Rumour Mill News on Mondays, and I'll be trying to catch hold of her. She has a very unique ability, which is that she can hear the sound that comes out of our ears. Yes, we have sounds that come out of our ears as well as sounds that go in. They've been scientifically measured, and it's called the otoacoustic frequency.
Cool.
Emission.
What's OTO stand for?
It's ears, as in, you know, ear, nose, and throat. That one of those is oto.
Oh.
So it's basically your pineal gland is vibrating. I think it's pineal gland. Some gland within the body emits a very high pitched frequency, and she has this particular unique ability to hear that. She can tune into that. And the other ability she has is to be able to sing that back. Now, she's not a great singer. She's not a kind of singer, but she does have this ability to reproduce the tone, and it sounds something like this. But she can hold a very steady note, and it's exactly the right pitch, which is, you know, many people have problems with pitch, but she has exactly the right pitch. And what she discovered at first, she was doing a PhD paper on something, and they were into a sound lab, and she started making these sounds, you know, just playing around, and the guy who was working with her said, I can feel my blood pressure drop when you do that. And they started messing about with it, and they could raise and lower somebody's blood pressure by about 32 points either way.
Wow.
And that's just using her voice to make this sound. Turns out that everybody's got this sound. Everybody has a unique frequency. And this frequency can be measured from the voice by taking a spectral analysis of the voice. Now that will then produce a note, which is it's not necessarily a B flat or a C sharp or something like that. It's sometimes, well, it's usually mostly in between those notes, which is why you know, you might think that some certain music is healing, but there might be one that is just particularly because maybe there's a violin that's slightly out of tune that is hitting your note, and that's the way it works. So what I do is I take a spectral analysis, and we analyze the graph of it, and you can see which notes are missing or which notes are in excess. And I've had some quite interesting success from it. The thing that is most effective is when there's an acute. So somebody who's, for instance, broken a bone or cracked a bone, or when what was there? Poison. It works very well with poison. A woman came to me a couple of years ago with arsenic poisoning, and we managed to, over a period of about 6 to 8 months, absolutely eliminate the arsenic from her body, which, according to medical science, is impossible. So they couldn't help her anyway, because they said it's impossible to get arsenic out of your system. So I believe, and many times I've used this technique, and I believe that it is very, very effective and is one of the tools for the medicine of the future. What do you think of that?
Definitely. Yeah, that and light.